The number of evictions in crisis-hit Spain is turning into a national scandal as a second homeowner committed suicide on the day a foreclosure order was served. A 53-year-old woman threw herself from her fourth-floor apartment in the Basque town of Baracaldo. 350,000 people are said to have lost their homes over unpaid mortgages since the crisis began. One local judge says it's up to politicians to act. This kind of situation, like the one we had here today, shouldn't happen, he says. It would be good if those responsible for changing the law did so, and they're not the judges.
12 days ago, these streets saw running battles with police, 35 arrests and 64 people injured. But Sunday's march, organised by a coalition of more than 200 political and social groups, was a more disciplined affair, and thousands turned out.
They are reclaiming almost all social rights. It's shameful that we're losing everything. We took to the streets during the government of Franco, and we're going to do the same with this government. Then we'll reclaim all our social rights. No to the reduction of pensions, of our salaries, of public health, of public education. We are reclaiming everything.
2008, it's 4 years ago. We're in the 5th year of the so-called financial crisis. And nothing has changed. All the gas bagging in the media that's going on, all the demagoguery that's been the election process, and nothing is changing. The biggest financial institutions, which are global, have been giving bailouts. They have been giving QE1, QE2. Now we are in QE3, which QE2 didn't actually stop. It's not $40 billion that they're getting from the Federal Reserve a month now, starting September. It's actually 85. There was a very early on, same day when it was announced, early that afternoon, there was an article on the internet, on Yahoo Business, Finance, about that it's actually 85, and then everybody since then later on were saying 40. No, it's 85 because they've continued the program which was prior to that, which was about 45, and they added another 40 to it a month. And all they're doing, they keep buying all this loans and credit and swaps on all of that, which are housing related, equity related. Down the line, it's being bought by the Federal Reserve. And all these institutions, which are privately owned, continue to make profits because of this buying. Not because of their business practices, it's because of this buying they're making huge profits. It's free money. But guess what? They've been bailed out once, they've been bailed out twice. Then QE1, QE2, QE3, which is continuing now, open-ended, every month, while the people are still getting the short end of the stick here. It's human wealth that is being given away here. People worked for decades to make this rich country. Of course, yeah, it's been a global power and oppressed a lot of other people. Fine. We're not talking about politics. We're talking about the individual people here in the country, which are continuing to get evicted from their houses. It's not changed. For 4 years, all these nonsense programs that presidents announced and government tried to put forward, they're meaningless. They're not doing anything. They're not affecting anything. They're very low percentage of people who actually get help, and down the line they don't get help enough, and some of them still get evicted eventually. However, it's the country's wealth that's been given away to a few private institutions because of some nonsense too big to fail argument. They're not even going through Congress anymore. It's been Federal Reserve issuing for 4 years money quietly to all these institutions. The information is everywhere on the internet. Journalists are not calling this anymore. They're keeping their jobs. And people are not speaking out about this. That while there is socialism for the biggest corporations in financial industries, the regular people continue to get evicted and bailed out at 0.1% maybe of the entire volume. So these corporations, they get paid by the bailouts in 2008 and 2009. Then they get paid by Q1, Q2, Q3, now continuing every month. They will hit the debt limit again by the end of the year. And the people are not getting anything. They're continuing to get evicted, even though their wealth and their future wealth is continually being given away to these corporations. They get no help at all. I think this is because people don't organize and don't speak out about this situation. In Europe, they're rioting on this issue. They're now rioting about the evictions in Greece, in Spain. But here in America, they're not. Everybody's still thinking, somehow, if I keep my job, I'll survive. No. This is not gonna happen. Because they keep sucking up. Nothing has changed. They're sucking up all the wealth. It's like a vacuum cleaner. It's just like, and takes everything. And it will get to everybody. Earlier, sooner or later. So it's time to start organizing and speak with one voice. If you want a good example, it's a President Barack. Even though I'm not his direct supporter, I have a memory from 2008 when he said, you know what, people, you need to speak. If you speak with one voice, he told everybody, government will hear you and will react. And if it will not, people will only get instigated to speak with louder voice, because at that point it's going to be competition. And there's still no reaction, people will get to the street, and there will be a reaction of some kind. But at this point, people need to start organizing. We need to get moratorium on evictions in this country, at bare minimum. If it's the public wealth which is being given away monthly at 85 billion a year, not even to mention all the previous bailouts and all the previous QE programs in the past 4 years, if it's continuing now, this is their business now. It's open-ended program. It's every month. It's non-stop. There is no limit to it. This is their business. This is their table from which they're feeding. Then the people should get a major breaks too in return until the crisis is fixed. They're already getting the money. They're getting the money. Government pay for them. They don't need to evict anybody. They're getting their profits. The Federal Reserve is giving them their money for these swaps and credit default swaps, and this practice has never changed. They haven't been gone away. All this nonsense and demagoguery that they're saying about in the media of credit protection programs and business protection programs and consumer protection they're not doing anything. They all have ways around them with lawyers, and all this get paid for by Federal Reserve printing money, not even physically, digitally. Until people organize and start speaking with massive voice that eviction stop, moratorium on mortgage, evictions related, mortgage related evictions, and anything that is credit related evictions from houses. People cannot be evicted when the public wealth is being given away to company who evict them. They're already getting paid. What are they evicting people for? This is not even third world. This is fourth world situation. This is like Cambodia in the 50s or 60s. You know, this is ridiculous.